You might recognize me as the person who makes all of the Pokemon cross stitches, and I have the giant Pokemon hoop cross stitch wall. But what you might not know about me, but something that I want to start talking about more on here, is one of my other hobbies, which is reading. Last year I set a reading goal for myself of 26 books, so one book every 2 weeks or so throughout the course of the year. I did take like a 6-week break in the middle of the year, but even still I managed to hit my goal around the beginning of September, and by the end of the year I had read 46 books. One of the things I did last year that got me really excited about reading again was I made a TBR jar. So this jar has the titles and the authors of all of the books on my TBR list from Storygraph. And that way, instead of having to kind of like think about what book I want to read next, I just pull one out of the jar and that's the next book that I read. So it's the beginning of 2023 and this is my TBR jar, and this is the jar that has all of the books that I read last year. So it's time for a new jar for 2023, and I am setting a little bit of a higher goal for myself this year. My goal this year is going to be 50 books. I feel like I got so close last year, even though my goal was 26 and I crushed it. By the end of the year, I was like, oh, can I make it to 50? And it just didn't work out because we were getting ready for a really big move. But now that we're here and we're settled into our new home, I think 50 could be a manageable goal for me. With that said, it's January 19th today, and I have already finished 3 books, so I'm right on track so far for the year. So the first book I read was The Wind in the Willows by Kenneth Grahame. The second one I read was Anne of Windy Poplars, which is the 4th book of the Anne of Green Gables series by L.M. Montgomery. And then this one was not in my TBR jar. I just happened to see it when I was at the library, and it just kind of called out to me. So I picked it up and I brought it home. It's The Mysterious Benedict Society by Trenton Lee Stewart. Anyway, so if you want to stick around and see how my reading journey goes this year, and if you'd like to hear reviews on the books that I'm reading, I'm going to start sharing things like that. And as always, I'm going to be going live on Sundays at 7:30 Eastern Time to do cross-stitching, and I would love to talk about cross-stitching and arts and crafts and books and tabletop role-playing games and all kinds of stuff like that. Those are all things that are a big part of my life and that I really enjoy doing. And I love talking about those things as well. So anyway, I hope you join me along the way. And if you want to share, how did your reading goals go last year? Are you setting me for this year? What are your goals? I want to hear all about them. So tell me in the comments or hop on a live and let's talk about it.